Sampling has long been one of music's most powerful creative tools, but taking an already successful song and remaking it is usually hit or miss. In this video, we'll look at 8 songs that sampled popular hits and failed. Put Your Hearts Up by Ariana Grande. When Ariana Grande released Put Your Hearts Up as her debut single in late 2011, you could have predicted how big she would become. The song heavily sampled What's Up by the 4 Non-Blondes, one of the most recognizable alt-rock anthems of the 1990s. Instead of channeling the emotional grit of the original, Ariana's version reimagined it as a sugary bubblegum pop anthem. She was just starting off her career and still finding her sound, and the interpolation of the hook was meant to capitalize on the familiarity, but it didn't work. At the time, Ari was transitioning from her Nickelodeon fame, and her label positioned the song as the cute pop debut that would appeal to her young fan base. The problem was that it didn't represent her true R&B and soul-influenced style. Put Your Hearts Up diluted the spirit of a classic. Even the music video, with its pastel palette and choreographed street performances, felt cheap and tacky. Commercially, the song flopped. It never cracked the Billboard Hot 100 and was quickly pulled from streaming platforms once Ariana's career took off. In later interviews, she publicly admitted that the song was not her favorite, calling it inauthentic. The failure of Put Your Hearts Up served as an early lesson for Ariana about how she markets herself. It's a rare case where sampling a beloved song made an artist realize exactly what kind of music they wanted to make. I'm His, He's Mine by Katy Perry and Doechii. Katy Perry's 2024 single I'm His, He's Mine, featuring rising star Doechii, arrived with big expectations. It had all the makings of a hit on paper, nostalgic 90s house sample, and the promise of a new era with one of pop's biggest names. Built around Crystal Waters' legendary 1991 club anthem Gypsy Woman, the song was supposed to be nostalgic. The idea was smart. Take a familiar song and elevate it with a modern twist. On the surface, it seemed like a clever reintroduction for Katy after years away from mainstream dominance, following her controversial lead single Woman's World. But the execution was not right. Gypsy Woman was successful because of its groove and minimalism, while Katy leaned heavily into glossy production. The sample felt more like a trendy accessory than a genuine statement. Doechii's verses added flair, but the song's concept didn't work with the instrumental. Chart-wise, I'm His, He's Mine struggled to make a meaningful impact, not even charting on the Billboard Hot 100. For an artist once synonymous with global #1 hits like Teenage Dream and Firework, the tepid response to her singles from 143 led people to ask if her time as a pop star was over. The Crystal Waters sample could have elevated the song. Instead, it felt recycled. She just played it too safe. Bang Bang by Rita Ora and Iman Beck. When Rita Ora teamed up with Kazakh DJ and producer Iman Beck in 2021 for their joint EP Bang, expectations were high. It was supposed to be her comeback, with Iman Beck's viral EDM formula that turned St. John's Rose's remix into a global phenomenon. The lead single Bang Bang was built around the iconic synth riff from Axel F, a 1984 instrumental best known as the Beverly Hills Cop theme. The melody was instantly recognizable to anyone who has seen the 80s movie or heard Crazy Frog's 2005 remix, which made the song seem like a surefire hit. However, the result was not as expected. Instead of using the nostalgic hook as a foundation for something different, Bang Bang simply looped the sample with little innovation. The track's production felt dated, with its recycled build-ups that felt more like 2016 than 2021. Rita's vocals didn't inject enough personality to make it stand out. Listeners found it catchy but forgettable. Critically, Bang Bang was seen as another symptom of a fading trend, nostalgia-driven EDM. While the Axel F sample should have carried a sense of playful energy, it instead came across old. The song failed to make a dent on major charts, not even touching the Billboard Hot 100 or the UK singles chart. It became a reminder that not every recognizable melody guarantees success. Are You Gone Already by Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj's Are You Gone Already, released in 2024, was meant to be a heartfelt and introspective moment, On her album Pink Friday 2, built around a sample of Billie Eilish's haunting ballad When the Party's Over, the song had potential. Nicki used the somber piano chords and delicate vocal hums of the original as a backdrop for a deeply personal narrative about grief and loss. It was an unexpected sample choice, merging two worlds. However, the sample was heavy, as it used almost the whole Billie track without changing it, which made it lose its emotional impact. Are You Gone already struggled to find a clear identity between tribute and transformation. While Nicki's verses were decent, it didn't fit well with Billie's soft voice. Critics described the production as overly reliant on the sample. The result was more like a remix than a song that stands on its own. Commercially, it didn't make an impact, as it was never released as a single. Despite the hype when Pink Friday 2 was initially released, Are You Gone already peaked at number 60 on the Billboard Hot 100 and disappeared from the charts in the next weeks. Fans appreciated her vulnerability on the song, but many thought that it was too soon to sample a 2018 hit. The song reminded listeners that not every powerful sample can carry a song to the charts, especially when the ghost of the original is still very much alive. Houdini by Eminem. When Eminem returned in 2024 with Houdini, fans expected something big. The song sampled and interpolated his 2002 mega hit Without Me, a track that defined his early 2000s chaos, humor, and charisma. It also sampled Abracadabra by the Steve Miller Band on the hook, and from the jump, it was clear that Eminem was chasing nostalgia. The beat mirrored the playful bounce of the Shady era sound, with callbacks to his Slim Shady persona and references to his earlier lyrics. On paper, Houdini had all the ingredients of a viral moment, but the execution told a different story. Critics and fans quickly called the song stuck in the past, describing it as Eminem parodying early Eminem, as it was supposed to be the farewell to that era. The album it's from, The Death of Slim Shady Coup de Grace, was filled with references from his controversial era, but the recycled production and obvious samples left listeners without the excitement that made the original hit so iconic. Eminem's rapid-fire verses, once his superpower, now felt like a performance trick he had outgrown. Even the cameos and references in the video felt tired. Ultimately, Houdini was decently successful on the charts, peaking at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, but the reinvention wasn't. In trying to revive his Without Me energy, he reminded listeners just how much times have changed. Not Your Barbie Girl by Ava Max. Before Sweet But Psycho turned Ava Max into a breakout star, she dropped Not Your Barbie Girl, an attempt to reframe the iconic Aqua hit Barbie Girl into a modern feminist statement. The song directly interpolates Aqua's signature synth melody, but rebrands it with different lyrics.
I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world. Not your Barbie girl, I'm living in my own world.
On paper, it had the potential, taking a cheeky 90s novelty hit and giving it a twist, but it failed to gain traction. Sonically, Not Your Barbie Girl sits in a strange limbo between parody and empowerment. The instrumental mimics the rhythm but strips away the exaggerated fun that made Barbie Girl unforgettable. For her debut era, it didn't provide a strong enough identity to stand out. The song failed to chart globally and gained little attention. Interestingly, when Ava later scored massive hits like Sweet But Psycho and Kings and Queens, both songs succeeded because they had recognizable samples, and she changed things on them. The tactics she tried on Not Your Barbie Girl, but didn't get it right. If you check out her discography, every one of her big songs have a big sample. During the Barbie movie soundtrack domination, Barbie Girl was also sampled by Nicki Minaj and Ice Spice and became successful, so she was just ahead of her time. Wake Me Up by The Weeknd and Justice. Wake Me Up is the opening track to The Weeknd's 6th studio album Hurry Up Tomorrow, released on January 31, 2025. It samples the iconic Thriller by Michael Jackson, which is instantly recognizable when you first hear it, but for some reason, the song didn't become a hit. I mean, it sounded really good and fit into The Weeknd's MJ-inspired sound.
It's close to me.
And the collaboration with the French producer duo Justice also gave the song a clean sound. It was the album opener. From the moment you heard the atmospheric 80s inspired synths and the infectious chorus, It sounded like a surefire hit. Wake Me Up started out strong, getting roughly around 4 million first-day streams on Spotify, but it couldn't sustain the buzz. It debuted at number 45 on the Billboard Hot 100, but plummeted in the next weeks. I was sure it was going to be the big hit from the album, but I was wrong. Wake Me Up is undoubtedly an amazing song, but sampling an undeniable classic like Thriller may be a blessing or a curse. This time it didn't quite work. Lonely Road by MGK and Jelly Roll. Lonely Road, a collaboration between Machine Gun Kelly and Jelly Roll, was released as a standalone single on July 26, 2024. The song interpolates the melody of the country classic Take Me Home Country Roads by John Denver, which was released back in 1971. MGK has been known to experiment with different genres, and after he got what he needed from pop punk, country was the next trending genre. He wanted to tap into a nostalgic universal hook, one of the most recognizable songs in American music history. Lyrically, he changed the words to fit into his subject matter. The song didn't make a dent on the Billboard Hot 100, and the reception was mostly negative. MGK had commercial success in his pop-punk era, but the public didn't buy his shift to country. And in the genre, Take Me Home Country Roads is an untouchable classic, especially for a newcomer to country who hasn't earned respect from the gatekeepers. His huge swing into another genre hasn't worked this time. Which songs that sampled popular hits and failed did I miss? Tell me in the comments below.